Hello everyone, it's George and welcome back to Call of Dragons. As dedicated free-to-play player who played this game for more than 600 days is going to continue to play with our enemies and try to win this KVK, right? Basically, our main idea is here that to defend this ramp, and of course we are using four archer legions. Of course, I will mention the Indies and Tara because this KVK, this is our main interesting point, right? Basically, main interesting point simply because we want to see how support gameplay will be utilized in Call of Dragons. We want to test how well we are going to perform in war situations when you have support playstyle together, right? Indis and Tara. What Indis and Tara is giving to us in our fights? First of all, let's mention Tara's second skill, which is giving us 50% physical attack bonus plus some 10% damage reduction, right? And of course, Indis can heal you. Indis will give us infirm, and plus it not only gives us this kind of buffs, it also will give buffs to your alliance members, right? Because that's also really important, especially whenever you are tier 4 player. You generally don't do a lot of damage in battlefield, especially whenever you are fighting against tier 5 players. That's normal, like practice. Everybody knows that. So whenever you are a tier 4 player, most likely, right, whenever you are a free to play player, that's not that easy to get to tier 5 space. Whenever you are tier 4 and free to play, you have to look at the game like how you can be most effective, right? And I think the reason why developers of this game are bringing the supportive gameplay is simply because they want to give free to play players or tier 4 players the ability to be effective during PvP, right? Simply because, well, for example, a tier 4 infantry is really weak because you are going to die super fast. That's one, right? Tier 4 cavalry is weak because you are not dealing any damage, at like most likely against tier 5s, and you are really squishy. Tier 4 mages, well, tier 4 mages, you will survive because you are mage and you have a range, but actually you won't gonna deal too much damage, right? Especially against tier 5 infantry. Well, tier 4 archers, same story, right? So basically the supportive gameplay is great because we are receiving some additional buffs to our legions, to our tier 4 legions, and we are hoping that we're gonna compete against tier 5s. That's general practice. So that's why I mentioned in this video already that main idea for this KVK is to see how well Indecent Tara will work in mass PvP gameplay, right? In open field where you can actually use those buffs and you can actually check in reports how well and how much often you are applying those buffs to your legions. And of course, the difference will be huge in my opinion because I have already used Indis and Ara in this KVK and I think the result was pretty nice, right? And yeah, of course, plus we just got more and more updates in terms of reports, how we can check in details what kind of buffs we receive, what kind of damage we are applying, and even some warped section details, right? And it will help us to understand in general how every single troop type is performing, how every single hero pair is performing, right? And that's best because, well, in the past there was not something like details in the reports, and it was almost impossible to understand what kind of buffs were applied to your hero pairs. That's why I think it's a perfect moment for us to test everything, to see in our own eyes, in the details, how well in general supports are performing, right? In general, for this KVK, for Dragonfall, we are fighting against the strongest alliance currently in the game. We are the like third highest power, but in general, they are like more advanced in terms of a higher level of 100 million players, right? They have way more, like they have 20 or 25 million players, and it's been really hard for us to compete against them, right? It's not only that they have a lot of tier 5 players, it's about resources, how much resources they are having, and how much they can heal, right? That's always main topic whenever you are speaking about war, and that's always the one of the hardest spots to actually compete against strong alliances, because they are having a lot of resources to heal and a lot of farms. And that's not about us currently, and yeah, unfortunately we are getting targeted. Hopefully that's not the cavalry players, right? In general, cavalry players are giving you a lot of severely wounded units, and that's not that great. It's an amazing moment for us. It's a pretty epic gameplay. You can see, I'm not sure how often you're gonna see this kind of gameplay in KVKs, but yeah, we managed to make it happen. They tried to attack us. They are trying to build the tower here, and yeah, basically we have been fighting for, I don't know, almost 3 days, and there is nothing better that you can fight in Call of Dragons for 3 days. Unfortunately, our 4 March got hit by the cavalry 5 March, and well, guys, it's not a surprise that if cavalry going to match you and if cavalry going to target you, you won't gonna have fun time in Call of Dragons. They are trying to teleport and they are trying to use their teleports here, but I think that's not that might be smart, but I'm not sure if they will be able to get away from this situation. They actually brought more tanks here in order for them to defend this place, but I'm pretty sure they have no chance. Let's help our alliance members to take down these infantry players, and we're gonna continue to deal damage to their backline, right? And yeah, sometimes of course they are going to move, and we should focus these cavalry players because they will always apply a lot of severely wounded units to your hospital. Yeah, I think that's a like perfect video to showcase the crazy chaos we are having in our KVK. Every single day we are having this kind of fun, and it actually matches my channel because we have been uploading and live streaming the content really, really often, right? Almost every single day we are seeing live streams by me, which is not a general thing because, well, you guys know that streaming Call of Dragon requires PvP gameplay, and I think if we don't have PvP gameplay, it will be hard for me to live stream, right? Because I think I have like most fun fighting in Call of Dragons, and I think the best possible content which viewer or you guys or somebody even non Call of Dragon player will have fun with is PvP, right? Because well, I don't know any other Kingdom Builder game which is better than Call of Dragons in terms of fights. Yeah, finally, this is like couple of legions left, which they have here, and Margaret and Indis. Margaret and Zaida, Indis and Tara is the only lively hero pair we are have here, right? And that's pretty epic because I think Indis and Tara will have Margaret and Zaida a lot. And we should mention that we are fighting against tier 5 players, right? Fighting against tier 5 players means that we are not dealing too much damage. We are receiving a lot back, way more than we should be receiving, but still I think we're gonna have a really, really good merit section, which we will be proud of, right? And yeah, one last legion which is left here is Margaret and Zaida. Enemy is using teleports, trying to make more and more troops around our place, but I think we did what we could here. We were victorious in our defense. Because simply I think they lost way more than we lost here, right? Of course, I will try my best to target as much mage players as possible because for archer, the highest amount of merits you can actually get by fighting is whenever you are hitting mages. As and yeah, you could see I tried my best to only target mages, and I hope that it will be translated into the merit section because of course you fight to win versus alliances. You try your best, but always the main idea is to see how well you actually performed in your fights, and the indicator of your performance is always the merit section, right? And I think we're gonna get the highest merits we have ever gotten in this KVK with this Margaret and Zaida because well, I think we made it happen that we are alive for a really, really long time. And generally, if you are alive for a long time in fights, it's always said that you did a lot of damage, and plus you have received quite a lot of merits. I think this fight was really, really fun. Plus, well, we are still fighting because we have Magrot, we have Zaida, which has a lot of heals, and until this Magrot and Zaida is alive, we can easily continue this fight, right? Of course, soon we're gonna die from the counter attack, but that's totally fine. We made it what we were here. We had amazing fun in this small area, and I think we are having amazing result in terms of merits for this fight. Let's at first check the hospital, well, hospital never looks fine if you are fighter. 1.8 million or severely wounded troops are quite a lot because for a free-to-play player, every single troop is really important, especially if you are fighting against tier 5 players. And of course, it's right now, it's the best time for me to translate to the merit section because that's the most important right now. Let's check, let's see how well this hero pair, this 4 March actually performed, and well, we're gonna continue after that, right? Yeah, that's what I said. 32k merits from Magrot and Zaida. That was the reason why I wanted to test how well would Magrot and Zaida and other archers perform against tier 5 players with indies, right? And hopefully it was really easy to understand how well it's actually performing, and even simply because of that, I will try one more run only with indies and Magrot, right? Only with indies and Magrot. I want to check what's gonna happen. Let's try second run. We are having the best hero pair in the game, which is Magrot and Zaida in terms of merits, and we are having the newest addition to our party, to our gameplay, Indies and Tarra, new gameplay of Call of Dragons. Let's see if we are going to have at least yellow merits because, well, we saw the situation in the battlefield. It was pretty easy to get merits there because enemy was like in the corner, so they had no chance to do anything with us. So basically, it was kind of easy job, right? Let's see how fast we're gonna be there. 25 seconds is quite enough to go and to check how well. Maybe it was just a luck last run, and we can easily check if 32k merits against tier 5 infantry players and mages, and I don't know, everybody, right, is quite amazing for a free-to-play player. So let's go. There is some more legions standing here. We can actually wipe them out, and meanwhile, I'm pretty sure they are going to come down to this space and they will try to attack us. Of course, we had to split. We had to split because enemy was moving from both directions, and I'm pretty sure enemy is going to move from the both directions. Let's stay here. I'm pretty sure our ally members will handle this situation, and we can actually try to be effective here. Yeah, first guy, I guess he just made the one mistake, moved a little bit forward, and we can actually utilize his mistake. And of course, let's see if we will be able to get yellow merits. I'm not sure, and I'm not saying that we're gonna get 30k merits again, but of course we're gonna try, and of course we will see how well this will happen. Right now, my main thinking point in terms of building the Magrot and Zaida is something else. I want to see, and I want to make my point that I'm trying to understand what's better, Sand Lizard or Shadow Manticore, right? Of course, I understand that Sand Lizard is giving me more heals and almost no damage, like from the chain strike maybe. But in terms of Shadow Manticore will give me way less heals and more damage. Right now we are using Sand Lizard because Shadow Manticore is not ready, and that's why I'm thinking, should I really commit to Shadow Manticore and use my resources, my regeneration potions and my skin, well, warped currencies, or should I just keep my Sand Lizard and just make my Sand Lizard just a stronger one, right? And that's the main thinking point which I'm trying to understand. And if you guys know what's actually better for Magrot and Zaida, Sand Lizard or Shadow Manticore, it would be amazing if you could tell me in the comment section, right? Because of course, myself, I will test it, but I will have to spend a lot of time and resources to test something as a free-to-play player. So if somebody already have seen which is actually better, it will be perfect, right? Well, for this fight, it's quite a good comparisons because right now we are mainly dealing damage to infantry, and we're gonna see how less merits we are going to have in this fight. Well, on Indies we are using Fang of Ashkari because that's like most defensive artifact which I have ever have in my collection right now in Call of Dragons, and Maybe there will be like some supportive artifact for archers. Of course, if I had Viola's bow, I would use it for this hero pair, but unfortunately, I don't have Viola's bow, guys. That's why Fang of Ashkari for some defensive work, because we want to have the Indecent Tara hero pair alive for a long time, because we're gonna get a lot of buffs from them, right? Finally, I think it's our time to maybe push a little bit more, because we can see how enemy made a big mistake, and I'm honestly I'm sure they have a lot of hospitals filled up already, and well, we have quite a good online, finally, right? Because it's not that easy to fight all the time. People are having real life, they have works, they have jobs which they have to follow, and that's why I think fighting 24/7 all the time is never easy. Well, right now I'm trying to a little bit risk, right? Because whenever you are using archers and you don't have long range warfare and you are trying to deal damage to mages, of course you are risking, of course, because they have higher range. They will be the ones who will deal damage to you, but at least you know that you're gonna deal more counterattack damage to back them. Well, this is the different fight, the ramp fight, which we have been fighting here whole day. I think even more than whole day, for 2 days, if I'm not mistaken. And yeah, we are still here. The last fight which you guys see, I think it was their risk, right? They just risked it for like one try. They tried something new, which I think it was a big mistake, because they lost a lot of heroes, a lot of troops, a lot of stamina, and a lot of I don't know time by doing that. Especially whenever you are tier 5 player, you know that every single healing is like a lot of mana, right? It's like too much mana to heal your troops. That's why you should always know when and how to. Well, let's try to be a little bit aggressive, because we have way more players together, and yeah, being aggressive, you guys saw what happened, right? This is what it's called, being aggressive. Like, it will take 5 or 4 seconds for tier 5 group, and they will just destroy you. Well, hopefully we have Margot and Zaida still. This is like one more epic thing about this hero pair, is that you will be alive for a long time. And of course, I wish we can have yellow merits with this hero pair also, but it will be really hard, because our main target was only infantry, well, mainly infantry. Last time it was great because we targeted mages. Yeah, that's the big difference. Like, small things like range is just too much, right? That's why every archer player's dream is to have long range warfare forever. But yeah, it's not gonna happen, because if it will happen, well, nobody will be playing with mages. Yeah, well, next run was not that epic. Let's try merits. That's the merits we actually got from this fight, which was really interesting. And of course, main thing is like 32k merits from Margaret and Zaida in the last fight was simply amazing, right? I hope it was fun to watch PvP gameplay as always. As always, if you will press like, subscribe, and share, it will give me a more and more motivation to make more content. Game. I wish everybody amazing morning, night, and day wherever you are. We are going to see each other really soon. Bye bye and good luck.